In this video, I'm going to talk about Power Apps summary control available for Canvas apps. Now, I'm in Dynamics 365 Customer Service Hub application and I'm navigating to one of the keys. So, if I go into one of the keys, then by default, there is a control available within Dynamics 365 Customer Service called as summary. Now, what it does is basically if you do not want to read all the case details available in the application, then you can just click on summary. It will start summarizing the content of that specific case and it will give you a gist of what is happening within this case. So it is a nice bit of control which looks into a couple of fields within the application and try to draft a sentence which will help your customer service agent to understand what does this case is all about without going through all of the content within the application. So similarly for Power Apps, what we can do in Power Apps, we can create that control. So where is that control? So if you click on plus over here, and if you just type in Copilot, then you should be able to see that control. Now, there are two controls, Copilot and Copilot Answer. So this control is Copilot Answer. So if I just click on Copilot Answer, it will give you this particular control over here. Now, before we come into this screen, what we need to understand is first the Copilot should be enabled. And for that current specific environment, if you navigate to the environment, click on settings, you need to turn on a couple of switches if it is not turned on. So if you go to features, then there are things which you need to enable it. So it says enable new AI powered Copilot feature for people who make apps. So this feature needs to be turned on. Also, allow users to analyze data using an AI powered chat experience in Canvas and model driven apps. So if it is turned off, you need to turn it on. And allow Canvas editors to insert the Copilot Answer component, which allow users to receive an AI-powered answer to a predefined data query. This needs to be turned on. So if you have turned on this feature, then you should be good to play with this control. Within Canvas app, make sure that when you create a Canvas app, make sure that the version, the authoring version is 3.24081.6 or beyond, not below that. uh, Also in updates, if I just type in Copilot, then there are some items which you need to turn on. So this is called as Copilot Answer component. So if you turn this on, then you will be able to see the Copilot Answer component. Now it says shows the Copilot Answer component on the insert panel. When inserted and configured, this component let users receive an AI powered answer to a predefined data query inside the app. Okay, let's start using this control. So I've drag and drop this control. What we can do, we can drop multiple controls. So we can drag as many controls as we want within the application. Okay, so we'll go one by one. So I'll just remove all these other controls. So first, you can connect this control to a data source. Now, once I drag this control, it is asking me to select a data source. I can select contacts, accounts, I can select custom table. So you can only connect to Dataverse at this point of time. So if I select contacts, so I can select contact from here, or I can just select this and I can click on data source and I can select contact from here. So what happens? It will ask me to select the view. I can select either none or maybe I can select all contact view or any view which you want. And you can even also select the field. So there is full name, email, business phone. I can add city. I can add email address. I can add any other column in this particular uh, data section. Okay, so these are the things which we can do. Now let's see what happens. So if you see over here on the right hand side, it says title question for Copilot is summarize record. So we are giving an instruction to Copilot and we are telling this it's a title summary and it will summarize the record. And uh, let's first run this. So let me run this and show it to you what happens. So if I click over here, this control will expand. So this will take more space now in the screen and it will give you summarized information about this data contains 5 contact record. Girish has email, Jake has no email, and it'll give you some summarized information about this particular table. Now, if you see this table in the back end, I have around 5 records, and it has correctly listed all the contacts, and it has mentioned Girish as an email address, but other people does not have an email address. Right. So that's good. So we can expand and collapse this control. I'll just close this. Now we can show this answer after sending. After sending means I've just clicked on this button after executing the app and I got the response back. Now there is an option to show it immediately. Now what happens with this immediate selection? User need not wait. Okay, so user need not wait for the response. So if you have any card based information within the application, user need not wait for that information to appear, or click on that button. The card will be automatically displayed, right? So this is one option. Now again, this option has a downfall, that it will start executing at the start of the application loading process. It will consume resources. But if you want it to be presented on demand, you can select the other option like after sending. So I'll select after sending. Display mode is edit, disabled, or viewed. So I can either put it edit, I can put it disabled, or I can put it view. So let me keep it in edit mode. I can now here, if you see this title summary, I can say just say contacts, and it will change the title of this to a contacts. Right now I can put any title. Now from here you have seen that it has summarized the record, but you can do much more beyond that. Okay, so what you can do, you can do something else. What you can do, you can just say show or email address for Girish. Okay, and I'll just say Girish email address. So if this is one of the component within my application, then it will list down the Girish's email address, right? So it has already executed that. If you run this, then it will start looking into the dataverse and tried extracting the response based on the prompt which you have suggested. Similarly, what you can do, you can say total records. Let me see total records in contact table, and let's see whether it is able to decipher this information or not. So I'll just save this. So if you give a correct prompt, it will try giving you the correct response. Now it has given you that there are 5 total records in the contact table. The total number of record is 5. So it has deciphered this information correctly. Similarly, you can drag and drop other components, right? Like the similarly, if you want to connect it to different data source or the same data source. Now in this case, I will again connect to the contact data source, and this time I will say show name starting with J, and I'll say J name start, and just click on save. Run this. If I want to see total record, I click over here. If I want to see another query, I can just type it J name start, and then it should display all the record which the name should start with J. So it says the query returned 4 contacts with names starting with J. Some of them are Jake with no email or phone, Jill with no email or phone, with so like that. And I can expand this prompt just by saying in a tabular format. So it is not allowing me to put something in a tabular format. Let me see if it is allowing me to output in a bulleted list format. Let me save this, publish it. So it is not able to recognize the bulleted list format or a tabular format. It just give me this information. The query returned 4 names with this and estimated revenue and winning probability. So it has picked up some random columns and started showing me this particular result. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically use this particular control. You can use as many controls as you can, but make sure that the response which it sends back, it will not only take this real estate area, but then it will try to put that content in other real estate area as well. So if you have any other control placed in this particular section, that might get uh, overridden from a screen perspective, and so you need to take care of the UI as well. So make sure that if you're using this control, use it in a specific pane or use it in its own area, and then design your form accordingly. So that's it, folks. This is all about Copilot Answer Control in Microsoft Power Apps Canvas app. Thank you.